Hello. How are you? When you join, say hello. If you're watching the replay, also say hello. I really, really believe that this is a platform of connectivity. However, if you don't say hello, then I can't engage with you, which makes me so sad because this is one of my favorite things to do is to talk with you guys and connect. So I'm just going to share this to my personal page so people can see it. Oops, hold on. Boop. Boom, boom, boom. Oops. Tune in. Okay. Perfect. I'm just waiting for it to post. Okay. So cancel. Okay, so we're here. We're live. I'm so excited. Okay. So I'm super excited. This is kind of like a random live. I'm just kind of coming to you from my bed, which is perfect. But I get these really random inspirations a lot of time, from my bed or when I'm just kind of hanging out. Um, these ideas just pop in my head or these little brilliant golden little nuggets. And I wanted to share something because I think a lot of people, well, I've become aware, people look at my life and they kind of wonder how I'm doing what I do, or they wonder how has she made money, or what does she even do? And it's funny because for so long I took a lot of offense. I'd be like, that's so offensive. How do people not know what I do? It's so obvious that I do manifestation and energetics and I change people's lives and I teach people with digital marketing, and sales and all this stuff. I would get very offended, what do you mean? And especially with the alpha femme, or sorry, alpha males that would come that are older, in their 40s and 50s, and they would be oh, I should just take you out to lunch, or I'm gonna offer you this, or I can do this. And it would really bother me because I could tell the alpha way of them coming into me was really you just don't understand my work at all. You just don't get me at all. And it was this thing of I would just get so frustrated at men and the masculine of this alpha entity just doesn't understand me. They don't get it. And so I would really shut off a lot of people. They would come and I would just be I don't want to say rude, but in a way, it would probably come off as rude because I was just they just don't get it. They don't understand. They're never going to understand. So, I'm just not wasting my energy. And internally, I would walk away from that and be oh, I'm so angry at the world. I'm so frustrated at the world. Why don't people get what's happening? Or why don't people understand that this is not how to communicate or have dialogue or connect? No, you cannot just come into my space and ask me all these questions and how my business is doing and all these things. I just never wanted to talk. It would be this frustrating thing. But what I realized is I was also feeling that frustration with a lot of areas of my life. I was feeling frustrated that way with money. I was feeling frustrated that way with my relationships. I was feeling frustrated with that way with my family. There was a lot of things where it wasn't just the money or just business or just communicating in general with another gender, with online, that would frustrate me. It just would always feel oh, these guys are just hitting on me, or these women just want to take from me. I literally almost didn't know how to genuinely connect. It was very bizarre and very frustrating for me because it was I'm doing all the things, I'm showing up, I'm sharing everything behind closed doors, I'm becoming more of who I am. I feel I'm whatever I'm doing, I'm getting all these people to come into my life, but I don't know, it just wasn't working out how I wanted it to work out, and I was very attached and very rigid to this. And so there was something in my life that really changed, and this is what I wanted to share in this live because I was really thinking about it. And what fundamentally changed for me is that I had to understand that people were coming into my space to not take from me. They weren't coming here to take or get, because no one can take anything from you. Like, no one can actually come into your space and annoy, frustrate, anger you unless there's something unhealed in you. Like, no one can actually come and disrupt your state of mind, your state of peace, unless there's something really unhealed. And if you have that, let's say even with money, you feel frustrated with money, you feel frustrated with people, like, you can't feel frustrated with people but at the same time want to share the wisdom of the universe. Like, those two things don't go hand in hand, because the wisdom of the universe is a feeling based, relational based connection. And if you're just trying to linearly think, how am I going to make more money? How am I going to make more money? How is my book going to do this? How am I going to make money in book sales? How am I going to make money in one online course? How am I going to meet strangers and they're just going to pay me? Like, if you're thinking that way, right? But at the same time, you're claiming to be a light worker or a healer or have this wisdom or have this knowledge, or people come to you and are like, you've changed my life. Like, I always love calling you as your friend to have access to and talk to and da-da-da. Like, you have all these people coming to you and saying that, but your still core focus is just on financial freedom or just on financial liberation. It's because you're missing the link that you're here to share the wisdom. And through the sharing of wisdom, whatever, or just the truth of who you are, like through sharing what it was like to go through cancer, through being in my bed right now and sharing this revelation of how I used to get so frustrated, like the alpha male, like wanting to take me out to dinner or wanting to like do all these things that I felt like they didn't understand me, right? Like, I felt like they were trying to take something from me, like this energetic taking. But it was a story in my mind. Really, it's like those men, those people, even women, you know, men or women who were coming to my space and wanted to know more about my business. They wanted to know more about how I did things. They wanted to know more about why I did things, my meditations, the sound healings. And I was getting frustrated that, like, they weren't paying me right away. It's kind of like almost if you're going into like a vegan restaurant maybe, and you've only ate meat your whole life, or you've been vegan your whole life and you never knew people ate meat, and you're like, wait, why would I pay for meat? Like, what? That's just so bizarre. Like, you just have animals in the community. Why would I pay for meat? It's the same thing with, like, the work of being a healer. For so long, people have just been taught to come into someone's space and to swallow a pill, or like, even if someone's a doctor, right, and they're around someone and they're like, oh my God, you're a doctor? Like, Emily asked you these 5 things, and expecting that the doctor's just going to know the exact answer without knowing the medical history. All these other things that need to be known before really anyone could give any information. But someone's just so excited to release their pain, to connect with you, that they're only connecting the way they know how to connect. And so if you can begin to look, instead of at how am I going to make money? How is this going to work? How am I going to manifest the money? How is the money going to come into my bank account? How is the physical manifestation of it going to actually be here? Instead, like, you know, the question that you could be asking is like, how could I better connect? How can I better be connecting with people around me? How can I better be, like, allowing people to feel safe and secure and offering them an opportunity into a community that I've created? And that community could be a podcast. That community could be blogging. It could be your social media. It could be, you know, a book club. You know, I have, like I said, I've had clients all over the board. Like, it could be just posting about Reiki. It could be an email list. It could be a newsletter. It could be a magazine. I mean, there's a million ways that you have knowledge that you want to share, and you feel frustrated that people are coming into your space and they're asking for the information and you aren't getting paid for it. But the truth is, you haven't yet created the community. You haven't yet decided and claimed and decided, this is how I'm going to share what I want to share. This is the message I need to share. This is the thing I want to share. This is the wisdom of the universe. And only when you begin to truly commit consistently to share that in whatever way that feels good for you, speaking, writing book reviews, doing Reiki online, leading meditation, sound therapy. I mean, the list can go on. I could make up more. Glasses, building products, fashion. I mean, it can go on and on and on. The list could go. Like, until you make the commitment that you're going to start doing that and allow people to come into your space in a way that feels good for you, you're going to keep feeling like people are coming into your space and violating you. Or you're going to keep on feeling like people just don't get it. And the more you say people don't get it, people don't understand, you're pushing more money further and further away, because your job is to help people awaken. The only reason someone is in your space is because they desire to awaken through your soul blueprint, through what you offer. And a soul blueprint is like your DNA, basically. You have DNA, that's how you look the way you look in the physical, but you have like a whole blueprint energetically around you that the human eye has been trained not to see, but a lot of us, can see it once we've done the work. And this live's going totally different than I thought it was going to go, but that's always perfect. But anyway, you have a soul blueprint, and that soul blueprint, the DNA your soul has been through, people are coming because they want something in your space. And this is why in the new earth, like, there is no such thing as like one mentor, coach, or CEO is higher than another, because the CEO, the mentor, the coach, the healer can always be hiring one of their clients. Like, there is no hierarchy anymore. It's like this beautiful cross-pollination of collaboration, and we all are here to guide each other to return back to our bodies, to return back to our homes. But the only way we can do that is through sharing and connecting. And so what is inside of you that you're not sharing, but then at the same time you're getting frustrated, people are coming into your space and wanting to go to dinner with you, or blowing up your messages or emails, or wanting to hang out all the time, and you're like, I don't have time to hang out and I also do my business. Well, because these people are meant to be clients, are meant to be in your community, but you aren't yet showing up for the community. You aren't yet showing up for the message, the thing, your DNA, like your blueprint inside of you. And so that's causing you to then go into a spiral about when's the money going to show up? How is the money going to show up? How am I going to create the thing? And it gives you into this analyzing stage instead of being here in the now present moment. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that. I went in a very different direction than I thought it was going to go, but that's always perfect. And I just want you to know that my life was not always the way that you guys see it right now. And I go in that in my first book and definitely my third book, but I think it's very easy to look at my life and think I'm just this like young, beautiful, talented, smart woman, but I've done a lot of work to get the life I have. And I've done a lot of work to know that I'm worthy and deserving of impacting people. And I've done a really good job at changing people's lives throughout my whole life. And that has been my fairy tale. That's always been the life I've wanted to live, is like meet incredible people and travel the world and share what's on my mind and watch as that influences and impacts people. And with that, I've created 2 brand new opportunities to work with me. And so one is called Your Application to Receive Money, which is a 6-week course that I've never before offered. It just came through me, and I'm like so excited that it came through me, because it's the first time I'm really combining the energetics of digital marketing, or the energetics, like spirituality, enlightenment, and that I'm also really doing like teaching you digital marketing. Like I'm really going to be teaching you from the corporate space. You're like, oh, I get paid every day. Look, I'm going to be teaching you in the entrepreneur space, like how to receive predictable income, like every day. Like I get paid every day in different forms, in different ways, from, a few dollars up to, my largest day was a $50,000 day. I teach you how to create income on a thin air, which is like what this is about. Like, how do you really create income? How do you create a community out of nothing? And so that you can actually come out of debt or have savings or actually think in a more abundant mindset. I teach you how to have more than one stream of income from your purpose work or your passion project. I'm going to be guiding you to begin understanding how to attract clients and team members through organic attraction. I've never heard that word. That word came through me, but I think it's a word I'm going to coin. Like, everything I've done has been organic attraction. And I really want to teach you how I've done this organic attraction in 3.5 years, how I've built the community, the people, the following, and so many different platforms. And even when my, platforms were taken over, like how I really did that. And I want to support you in that. I also want to teach you that it's no such thing as overspending. Like, I want to actually guide you to understand that overspending is something you can enjoy. Overspending is something that should be deleted from your vocabulary. And I really am teaching you this in your application to receive money, because most of you who are in this community, like, you've had to apply to get a job. You've had to apply to have a degree. You've had to apply for the promotion. Like, you've done all these things to apply. And so you naturally think you have to apply to get more money, when in truth, money is just simply around in the air. It's existing. It's flying around. You either have to go grab it or create a community for it to come and land into your bank account. And so I want to teach you the tricks and tips and secrets that I've learned of how to do this. And literally I've made money out of thin air, like thousands of dollars out of thin air, like within hours, within minutes. Like I've been laying in my friend's bed and they're like, really? Can you do that? And I'm like literally laying in their bed and then I do something and I'm like, oh my God, I just got a client. And my friend's like, how did you do that? Like, I want to teach you that. I want to share that with you because you are deserving to understand that you don't need to apply to receive money. You get to just show up and be who you truly are, and the money will always show up and meet you. And so the 6 weeks that we're going to be going through, and this starts on Saturday, August 21st, the first one of this. So if you're watching this, you want to get in before then. But week 1 is called organic attraction, which I've shared. I've never heard that word, but it's brand new. I'm going to be using it. How to organically attract your business, your clients, your team, your products, your creations, all the things. Week 2, I want to go into unleashing all of you, because you can't have organic attraction happen consistently and sustainably if you're not unleashing every single part of you into the world. Week 3, we go really big into dissolving everything you've known so you can remember the truth of what you're meant to share. There is a truth, there is a specific code, just like I talked about your soul blueprint, your soul coding. There's a specific thing that you're here to share. And once you know what you're here to share, you can easily speak to people better because you understand why people are messaging you, or random people are hitting on you, or you know, it seems like bad luck happens to you or good luck happens to you. You can begin to understand that these are messages and signs from the universe that are guiding you to share your truth. And so that's what we'll work on week 3. Week 4 is claiming the rebirth. You know, I had a post the other day where I talked about going through a death while living. In this life, for us to get where we want to go, you know, that we're always going to be shedding layers of who we thought we were, because the next evolution and growth of who we're going to be requires a different identity. It means we have to create a new identity of us. We have to, or we get to, I should say, like really design ourselves. Like, you know, we think of like designing our homes, but it's like really design who you want to be. Like, how do you want to react? How do you want to respond? How do you want to carry yourself? How do you want to have friendships? Like all these things. So I really want to teach you how to create the rebirth of yourself over and over and over again in this lifetime. Week 5, I'm going to teach you how to the creation of offerings. So how to create offerings, whether it's through photography, whether it's through art, it's through healing, it's through business. Like I literally have created over 50 online courses in the span of 3.5 years, and I've had, or 50 different launches, I should say. I think it's more like maybe 35 courses, but I've taken some out, redone new ones, relaunched them, but I've had 50 launches. Not all of them have sold, but I've been really, really good at this, and I've helped a lot of other people in the online world make offerings that have, you know, allowed them to supplement their income or become their main income. The next thing is week 6, the marketing and sustainable implementation. I really want to go deep on this because a lot of people, I think I take for granted that I had a marketing degree and I've done marketing most of my life, don't know how to market and don't know how to sustainably implement things over and over again. It's kind of like we do one thing, we put it out there, we're like, oh, I had this idea, or I had this business, and we put it out there, and then we don't do anything about it. Like, we're like, well, I just said it one time, but it's like, think about if you went to a coffee store, right? And this is the one thing my mentor says a lot. And if you went to the coffee store, right, like you walk by the same coffee store every day and you're like, oh, I should try it in. Like, I should actually go in and try. Like, you want to show up consistently every day, all the time, because you have this amazing thing that you need to share, because it's universal wisdom that God gifted you, or a higher power, energy, whatever you want to call it, the cosmos. And so I really teach you how to begin doing that. So there's that, and there's the YouTube link here for you to watch the video, a little bit more details on it, and the application for that. We start Saturday, so that's in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so in 3 days. But it's going to be stellar. It's the first intake. I mean, it's just going to be the next level. I've never run a course like this, and I'm just so excited. And then the next thing I wanted to share is if you're kind of worried about money and you really want to live your fairy tale life, you're like, oh, Colleen, I'm ready to be expanded. I'm ready to be opened. I'm ready to be lifted. I'm ready to be guided. I'm ready to like live a life beyond my wildest freaking dreams. I've just opened my private one-on-one mentorship, which I've never done unless you've been a pre-existing client. And so this is called the Magic and Miracles Experiential Curriculum. And I'm super excited about this. The reason I've named it curriculum is because, again, a lot of us have been like, okay, if I do this job and this job and this job, it'll get me to area manager. If I do this and this and this, it'll get me here. If I marry this person, or if I say this thing in the relationship, that means the relationship should end up like this. Like, we've been very manufactured to think like this is how things should be done. This is how it should happen. And if it doesn't happen that way, like, oh, something's wrong. And so this is the curriculum that we co-create for you to experience magic and miracles, not the manufacturing, not the engineered way, like for you to actually experience the miracles and magic this life is meant to offer you, like the sensations, the heart opening and expanding life. So anyway, I have a link here for you to fill out the form. I'm super excited because I've never offered it one-on-one, and I'd love to support you in your journey of living magic and miracles and a fairy tale life. And so I wanted to come on. I just wanted to share that. I hope the message landed. We went a little bit more airy-fairy in the beginning, but I feel like I grounded it here kind of in the second part. Hello, James. How are you? So I hope that it landed. Let me know when you watch this if you have any questions or anything comes up for you. But this are two of the best things I feel like I've ever offered, I've ever created. I know I say that about every single thing, but it really is that thing about every new thing I create, because I've expanded. I've been working on myself. I've liberated myself. I've done all these things to go to the next level. And so, like the thing that comes through me is the next best thing. That doesn't mean everything else I haven't created was amazing. It just means like, oh my God, like I just learned something new, or I just embodied something new. I just had a new epiphany in my life. I just reached a new level with my clients and connecting. I just reached a new level in my relationships with connecting, with my purpose, like whatever that it is. It's really all of them. But because I up-leveled, I did something like I did a new level of embodiment for myself. This new experience came through that I want to share you how I just got to this new Colleen that just rebirthed in the past, couple weeks. And this always happens to me because I'm always in the work. I'm always journaling. I'm always reading. I'm always doing the things. And I'm like, oh my God, because I want a freaking life of fairy tales. Like I want a life where I will not stop till I wake up in my castle and with all my art everywhere. And you guys can come visit, and like I host retreats in my castle, and I do those things now, but this is like really the life I believe that I'm living and I'm aligning to. And so every day when I wake up and I align to my dreams and I align to like new creations, new products, the Oracle deck, new books, the PhD, like whatever that it is that I'm doing, or my clients reaching new levels of success, like every time that happens, I'm really good at self-reflecting of like, how did that happen and how can I share that so more people get access to this wisdom, more people get access to this magic, this miracles, the fairy tale, everything you want and more. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to share and say. So I'd be so grateful if you have any questions. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what comes up for you. It like opens my heart when you guys leave comments and share things during the live, or you're like, oh, I really liked that thought, or I really liked when you shared that, Colleen, or hey, Colleen, like, what did you mean by this? Like, always feel free to ask me more things because it makes me just so excited and so happy. So I love you. Feel free to watch the YouTube video to get the details to the Your Application to Receive Money program, which is 6 weeks, which is just going to change your life with money forever. Like there's no program. I do not know. And I've taken a lot of money courses. There is no money course like this. Like I've taken a lot of financial courses. This will liberate you. This is for you if you're like from the corporate set. You're the person who had to apply for everything your whole life ever. Like it's felt like you've literally had to like apply yourself to be a mom, or apply yourself to be a dad, apply super hard to be a husband, like apply super hard to be a wife. You've had to apply for the promotion, apply for this, apply, blah, 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 blah. And you're just done. You're done with the application. You want to just simply show up in the motherfucking world, be who you're meant to be, share who you're meant to share, and receive. Because you are worthy and deserving, because you are an incredible human being, and it's about time that you stop applying and just allow yourself to receive. Like the recoding that I'm doing in this is no other program I've ever seen ever in the history of anything. You're going to want to be in it. And then my one-on-one, if you're really ready to do a deep dive, like this is like, you're ready to be like, whoa, Colleen, I'm ready to go on the spaceships from the mothership of the aliens, and I'm ready for the magic and miracles beyond what my mind and imagination even knows is possible. So anyway, I love you so much. Feel free to share it, comment. Let me know you're on the replay, and I'll see you guys soon.